Man, just wait till I spend that 66,000. Wait, just wait. What am I gonna do? Be professional. Be able to get myself groomed up. Be able to buy me a suit. Be able to be in my vehicle for 645 years. You know what I'm talking about? Be able to be it fully bought. You know what I'm talking about? 65,000. You know what I'm talking about? Fully bought. Fully bought. Worth 75 quarters of GDP. It's already bought 75,400. You know, be able to be bought within $520, other than its toy version of itself. Just because they make prototypes of it, and be able to pick the one that you own particularly and be able to make parts about it. Just because it's an elite, noble elite of itself. So it should be astonished by the information that it's inquired about and more required of. So that's about 97.52% that you have to know about the GMC Sierra at the time after 2018 and 2022. So, I pretty much had my truck for about a good 5 years. When you think about it, that's a good 5 years. I was able to do what I need to do, rest about where I need to go, go where I need to go, rest at it for about 45 hours, and then communicate with the authorizers. Woo, would have been a swole truck, man. All I had to do is show up in my aquatics. I didn't think they was open during the winter and the spring. Just because when the pool's open, it's summertime, and that's the only time the pool's open in the summertime. So that's purple, orange, and green. So that's pretty much what the state of Texas is pretty much thinking at the time, since it's cold in the winter, and you got a whole bunch of weather tech the frost in the winter. Nobody wants to swim in the cold weather, so it's basically where you got to work on summertime at multiplying times 9 times 7 times 5 times 4 times 4, and be able to experience the summertime in the good weathers, and that's basically what you want in a dimension like that when you want to go swimming, and being able to determine more of 699 different specification in the area of that diction is more of Red Cross administration's possibilities, and that's basically what I do to earn my $66,450. Sit and watch public safety, and being able to understand more about the safety of others, and of outside safety, outside the house, outside the auditorium, outside the event. You go swimming. It's part of recreation. You start showing your professional life, and being able to be more of a $90 billion agent, and that's basically what I'm seeing 52% of the time of W-2, Declaration of Independence and Bill of Rights. I see from 5th grade you graduated and got your constitutional rights. That's basically where you're getting that after 2009. Pickle authorizes that good stuff for other districts in the zonal district, and it's basically where you're looking at Crockett, Bowie, Westlake, Lake Travis, Westwood. You're going through different vocabulary words like that, and that's basically where you're working on different 991 residential stays at 1930 to 2030. And that's just part of a free trade agreement in federalism at that time of 647 people that have midpoints within equal herb of 1995 to 2025. And that's basically where you're hooking up with purple, green, and orange. So you got a contrast of 9 times 4 times 5 times 6 times 4. So that's basically a summertime event for yourself as you want to contrast that to be. And that's basically where you get much more amplifields of radiant energy, and that's going along with my chemical energy or my electrical energy benefits. And that's basically how we create energy as a group together. And that's basically what me, Dad, and Sadaric are working for as a team on our spring days, and working towards r- radiant energy, and being able to keep the compadre heated in their cabins and in their hula hut houses and stuff like that. And it's just based off of North Lamar, 12th, 11th Street, 38th Street. Same detail. So that's basically how we want to be able to keep Austin the same for 1965. Then 1985, we want to be able to change the proposition and make bigger houses more acceptable, since they're going to be the max percent of population that increases in the future, and we don't want to be stuffed up in houses that like popcorn. So you just got to be able to build your specified simple symbolism of what you build, and be able to gain your level of classification on Ecoleaf, and understand more of a compound of your own specification of how to build a house, and build you a statistical team roster that goes with it, just like you playing Madden '08 or playing with the Reagan Raiders. You're playing with the roster at the time, and that's basically where you're looking at the current views of the 2012 to 2015 rosters at the time, and being able to look at the most densified chapters of the primary characteristics that made it to the playoffs. And that's basically one of the best things you can ever do in a regional state so far, instead of going to a state qualifier position. So basically we're just looking for a playoff. We were just looking for a playoff playoff district, and that's basically where you got sent as regional qualifier, and that's basically what you get. That's one of the highest reps you get after you play a playoff game and lose that. It was a good game though. It was a cold game. Everybody was running in the heat. That was about 375% max performance, and it's basically a good sheet of max performance that goes good for GMC Ultimates, and be able to pay it for 245 GMC Ultimates on Eco Herbs Faith and Luxury Lux Faith, and it's basically where you got to use your graded components to endure with those successful in treatments, and it's basically where you're earning 975 yards going full speed, and that's basically where you're using all speed and power of weights. Instead of 250 pounds, you're using 445 pounds, and you're going full speed, and being able to deal with the heat and the coldness and deal with injuries as well as a precaution that you have in with high school after 245 months. So that's basically where you're going up against a whole lot of quantity and population. So that's basically where my fields add up after 1998 of 2025 of yellow, red, and purple. So it's just a difference of David Jacob, Man, Clifton Mack. So that's just 275 acres right there out of 825 acres, and it's basically working on the bigger state of Texas of purple, yellow, and green. So that's basically where you start more of a primary state that singular is the proposition out and give you more towards your land ownership, and being able to figure out more of your colonial delegate for yourself, and be able to embrace you with a real estate property. And that's basically where we want to be able to understand more about 605.75 of $99,745 under purple, yellow, and green contents, and that's basically working on 97.52 dimes majority of the time. So you're working on more than that every 30 hundredths. So that's when you're working on Sam's, Sears, Kroger's. You know that's where that strategy goes to. So that's a dime towards their pocket at the time, where they can organize their strategies with that type of money and still go and still be fine with their statistics. So those are just authorized deals within orange, green, and blue. Decisions within the other components of the nation, and those are our allies, and those are relate, re, related related cities that we have together with each other. We have about 275 different cities that we share with each other, and we want to be able to elaborate those things and get a greater common sense of 345 dimes. And that's basically where you're working on 9752 tens at the time, and making a equal equilibrium for that. And that's basically where we're working on 345 equal equilibriums, and that's what increases the GDP worth $445 on economics, worldwide economics. And that's basically where you're building the country 975% grades of better performance. And that's basically where you're working on the greater high school U.S. government platform for yourself called EcoLeaf. And that's basically where you're owning property and owning products that go within that company. And Reagan is not the only company that's in EcoLeaf that makes that deposit happen. And that's basically where we want to be a little bit of Reagan and a lot of Sam Houston, and a little bit more of Enterprise, and the industries that come with Bill Worth Lot Industries Enterprise, because it's supposed to be a faithful journey. So we want to have the most luxury feel to it, and be able to be more 9875 in hundreds completed, and being able to understand 1998 to 2905 is the economy that we want to have in yellow, green, and orange of Alabama, Arizona, Florida, Mississippi in there, and as well, being able to put Mississippi in there as well. That's another 375% you need to make those things happen. So you feel that 325% up in tens, you made it out for 345 months, even though you sharecropping in 1845 of 1920. And it's basically where you're working on a bigger common equation. And you just got to work with it 245 times, 345 times, and that's just working with Eco-Herb and EcoLeaf. That's the main thing that you're missing, that you're not getting, that makes you prominently successful of your career. And that's basically where you got to work with that more majority of the time. Combine like terms, separate powers, and process of elimination. Use that majority of the time, and be able to create that within 90 hours of editorial. Instead of using office works all day, you can use stuff like that. That's white, orange, and purple, and be able to use that for a good total of 90, 70, 25 hours. You can use that purple, yellow, green. That's 975% going to you, just because you were smart enough to be